Hey y'all, it's Melissa from Cajun Sugar Pie, and today we're going to be making some fun party snacks for your Christmas or holiday parties. We're going to start with some spicy seasoned pecans. We're also going to make some puppy chow or muddy buddies, and lastly, we'll make some caramel corn. So let's get started. Today we're going to be making some seasoned spicy pecans, and these are the spices that we're going to be using. We're going to be using some salt, chili powder, basil, onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne, and some chipotle. So we're going to mix up the seasonings first, and then we will toast the pecans and add the seasoning mix to the pecans. Okay, so here I have my cookie sheet that's lined with foil, and this is 6 ounces of butter. I'm going to take 4 cups of pecan halves, and my daughter has a peanut allergy, but she is not allergic to tree nuts, and sometimes I know if you have a peanut allergy, it's hard to find tree nuts. If you can have tree nuts, it's hard to find them that are not processed with peanuts. But I found that Pearson Farm, they just do pecans and peaches, and they're allergy friendly as far as that goes. And so these are the pecans that we use that are safe for peanut allergies. So I'm just going to take, and these Elliott pecan halves are so good. They're a little bit smaller of a pecan, and they taste so much better to me. So I do love the variety of the Elliott pecans. So I'm just going to take 4 cups of these pecan halves and spread them out on my cookie sheet here. And I will link to them below. They are a farm in Georgia, but you can order their pecans online. I always like getting them in October, 1st of November, and then I'll put them in the freezer, and they freeze very well. So this pan, I'm going to pour my melted butter over the top of the pecans, and we're just going to kind of stir it in, make sure they get totally coated, and then we're going to bake it in the oven on 350 for about 15 minutes, and then I'll take them out and add our seasonings to the pecans and bake them another 15 minutes. And when you have the seasonings on, you do have to stir a little bit more, but we just want them to get a toasty brown color with the seasoning. So we're gonna, and these were frozen, so it's freezing the butter that I just poured over them. But that's totally fine. So we're gonna get this just mixed up really well so that all the pecans are coated in the butter, and then get them in the oven, and we will get the spices on them in about 15 minutes. Here's our pan after 15 minutes in the oven, and I'm just gonna add our seasonings and stir it all together, and then let it go for about 10 minutes, and then I'll check it, but it probably will need to go for 15. So we're just gonna get it all stirred up in there. Okay, so here are our nuts after 15 minutes with the seasonings on. You can see they're real toasty brown. They smell amazing, but I'm gonna let them sit and cool completely, and then I'll store them in an airtight container, and they'll last 2-3 weeks if you don't eat them all before then. So this is a great party recipe, and you can even put it in jars and give it to friends or family as a little extra Christmas gift. So this is just the spicy seasoned pecans. So next I'll be making puppy chow, or muddy buddies if you call them that. And I'm going to be using this rice Chex. It's like 9 cups of Chex, and you can do any variation you want. I'm just going to be using all of the rice Chex because that's what I have, and they are gluten-free. I also am going to do a cup of chocolate chips, a half a cup of, normally this would call for peanut butter, but again, we have a peanut allergy, so we'll be using this Barney Butter almond butter, which is peanut free, and a cup and a half of powdered sugar, some melted butter, and I think I already said the vanilla. So we're gonna mix this up and get started on that. Okay, so we're gonna start by microwaving. This is 1/4 cup of butter. I'm gonna add a cup of chocolate chips. These are semi-sweet chocolate chips. And about a 1/2 cup of almond butter. Again, we're using the Barney butter. And we want to microwave this uncovered for about a minute, and then we'll stir, and we'll keep microwaving at 30-second intervals until it's all melted. Okay, so I microwaved the chocolate and the almond butter and the butter, and I did it for a minute. I have a really high-powered microwave, so I didn't need to go any of the 30 extra seconds and stir things, so just a minute was fine for me. I'm gonna add some vanilla to this. And we're gonna get that mixed in. Already smells delish. Okay. So we're gonna take this is 9 cups of the rice checks, and we are going to just stir this in. They're all pretty much coated. You can either put this in a plastic like Ziploc bag, about a 2-gallon bag, to accommodate all of this and shake it up. That's the original recipe, but I like to live life on the edge. So I'm just going to dump it into here and just keep stirring until the powdered sugar has coated everything. So here is our bowl of Muddy Buddy / puppy chow, and obviously I keep saying puppy chow, but this is for human consumption, not doggies, because it does have chocolate in it. So I'm gonna spread this out on a piece of parchment till it completely cools, and then I'll store it in an airtight container. In my saute pan, I have a stick of butter, some brown sugar, some Karo syrup, and some salt. But my caramel mixture is just starting to boil. I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes, and we're not going to stir it. We're going to let it do its thing, and then we will remove it from the heat, add our baking soda and vanilla, and then top it with our popcorn. So it's been 5 minutes of our caramel boiling, and I am going to remove it from the heat. And we are going to add in, this is a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, okay, and about a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to stir this up. And it's very foamy at this point, so we're going to pour this over the popcorn and put it in the oven for about 40 minutes, and we'll keep stirring it while we do that. So here's our now that most of this is coated, I'm going to stick it in the oven, and we're going to cook it for about 40 to 45 minutes, and I'm going to continue to stir it. So this is before it gets all crunchy in the oven. So this is our finished caramel corn, and it smells delicious. I am so glad that y'all spent the day with me today. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to see more, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.